Where's the money, Lebowski? We want that money, Lebowski. Bunny said you were good for it. Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the fucking money, Lebowski?
It's down there somewhere. Let me have another look.
Don't fuck with us.
Your wife owes Jackie Treehorn money. That means you owe Jackie Treehorn money.
Yeah.
That's it. So that was basically, that's it. That's the iconic scene. I mean, it keeps going on and on. But that's why the golf, or not the golf, the bowling ball is there.
Yeah.
Because basically the whole scene is they come to this guy's house. And that's the whole movie. Like, my kids were asking me what this movie's about. What's your favorite movie, Dad? I was like, it's The Big Lebowski. But what's it about? I was like, well,
I'm going to take a picture of it.
I said, basically, it's about a guy who gets his rug peed on, and then he wants his rug back. So that's the premise of the whole movie. Like, so these guys break into his house. Yeah. They shove his head down the toilet, ask him for the money, and then they realize they're at the wrong person's house, right? Because they're like, well, Woo, didn't they say that the Lebowski we're looking for is a millionaire? And in that moment, the other guy pulls out the bowling ball, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And then the Lebowski looks like, obviously you're not a golfer. And then that just drops the thing on the floor, breaks the floor, and then they pee on his rug and leave.
Lebowski is
the dude.
The dude.
Yeah,
with his head in the toilet.
Yeah. So that guy, Jeff Bridges, plays Big Lebowski, and he's not Lebowski. He's the dude. That's the big miss up. His name is Lebowski, but nobody calls him that. Yeah. And so the whole thing gets started because these two thugs just pee on his rug and then leave.
Okay.
And it's just like a crazy adventure story. But anyway, so I appreciate you doing that with me. That was cool. We're here at the Dutch Pinball Museum during the Dutch Pinball Open. We're doing the WC podcast.
WC podcast. It's the strangest place I've ever been for a podcast.
I appreciate it. So this isn't the first podcast you've been to?
No, I've been in a few podcasts about radio. I'm a radio personality. So I've been in 4 or 5 podcasts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is my first time in a toilet, but I had to say when I've been talking to Gerard for a couple months now and doing some recordings with him. Yeah. More about him and his museum and stuff. Yeah. But then when he said the Dutch Pinball Open's coming, I said, well, let's do a podcast. Yeah. Let's just record with some people in and around pinball. And he said, I got the perfect place. And then he walked back here with me and we saw it. And I said, if you're serious about that, then me and you're going to be buddies.
This is the perfect place.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's. I knew Gerard,
yeah.
For I think 15 years or something like that, and it's a great guy. Yeah. And I've been to his first museum. That was really great, but this is awesome.
It's awesome, right?
This is really awesome. Yeah. This could be in New York.
Exactly.
Yeah. In New York, there was 1,000 people waiting to come inside, but this is echt insane. Yeah. It's insane.
That's what I've been thinking since I first saw it. And I've been to a few places, and I've been to a few pinball museums, but I've also been to other museums, you know. And let's forget fine art and all that kind of stuff, but museums where you're supposed to be interested in the content and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. This is at the top of my list. Yeah. Like everybody I've seen ever since then, I said you need to come here. Yeah. And so that's really cool. I mean, do you have one pinball machine?
Yeah, I always had the pinball machine at home. Okay. And I lived 6th floor. Oh my goodness! So it was always with the elevator. And when I get my wife, she said, I had him in the living room. Okay. So I always friends come by and play pinball, and I get my wife and I, and she said, the pinball's out, or I go. So I said, well. So I dropped the pinball in my garage, and sometimes I play, but not that often. And at my work, there was a billiard a pool table, yeah, and something like darts. But I thought, well, I put my pinball machine there, and now it's standing there for I think 15 years. I guess 15 years, and everybody's playing. Yeah. They see it, they turn it on, and they're gonna play, and they yell sometimes, and then they go and. Yeah, no. Everybody's having fun with the pinball machine.
Yeah, I think everybody has fun with pinball machines, and
there's nobody. I know. I don't know anybody who doesn't like a pinball machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody loves it.
And if they don't, it's probably because they haven't played it before.
In the youth.
Yeah. And I just think I've seen by now, just to pay more attention to it, I've seen people have their first experience with it. So my son, he's 7, and he'd seen one in the corner at my buddy's house, the Star Trek Next Generation that we've got over there. But basically, he never really paid any attention to it. And I came with him to the museum, and we played a bunch of machines at one time, and he was fixed.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the States a few weeks ago, and the only thing we did was travel from place to place, and we'd look for pinball machines.
Yeah,
you can find them in the States. They actually have bars and restaurants.
But you're from Ireland? Oh, no?
No, I'm from Alabama originally.
Oh, okay.
I live in Germany the last 25 years. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't sound too great for the Dutch people, but
you work there, or
yeah, I mean, I've worked and live there and have a wife and kids and all that kind of stuff. That's where my life is.
Yeah.
But no, I moved when I was 18, so I've been there longer than 25 years. But no, and I just go back to visit family.
Yeah.
And so I was back a couple weeks ago, and it's actually really nice down in the south right now. So the if you don't turn on the news, and, if you just stay outside, it's really nice.
Go. You don't have that in Alabama.
No, but Rick, right?
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this this sidekick thing Gerard was talking about?
It's
know about that.
You know Scott Denton, or how's the famous DJ in the most famous DJ from America is?
The guy with the long hair.
Yeah.
God damn it!
I can't.
There would have been a time in my life where I could have told you that straight away.
Not Scott Denton, but whatever.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Well, the original radio shows, the DJ said, that was a great record, and he goes to the next record. Mm-hmm. But now it's more entertainment, more sport, more music, more showbiz.
Yeah.
And we created an atmosphere where you... It's like a cafe where all your friends go.
Okay.
And we are the friends in the morning you want to be with.
It's a radio show.
It's a radio show.
Nice, man. That's amazing.
It's the biggest show. It's the biggest show.
Howard Stern, by the way.
Huh? Howard Stern, yeah.
But no, I'm a huge fan of talk radio.
Yeah.
And I grew up on it, and it's something that Europeans don't know much about.
No.
And there are radio stations where they talk all the time, and there is no music. And that used to be way before podcasts. Before podcasts was what I would listen to. That's kind of my inspiration. Some of the things that I do in the podcast. And there used to be a guy. His name was Bubba the Love Sponge. Did you ever hear Bubba the Love Sponge?
Yeah, isn't he from C100?
I don't know. He's from Florida for sure. I don't know.
I know this. I know the name.
Yeah, because Bubba the Love Sponge was he was even grungier than Howard Stern was.
Yeah.
But he was, grungy's not the right word. He just had a group of misfit men.
Yeah,
I mean, these were just like, I think one of the guys was this 90-year-old
all characters.
Super characters, like crazy characters.
Yeah. And after a few years, you know all the characters.
Exactly. Yeah. And the characters are amazing.
Yeah.
And having those characters, and what they used to do, and I thought it was cool, they leaned into the whole man side of it. So they would invite, a Dr. Dan, and Dr. Dan was a real doctor, and he would get into it, like what men problems have, and when you should go to the doctor, and when it's probably not a problem. And I thought, that's amazing, because, they're not talking to everybody, but they're definitely cool dudes who are talking about things that men usually don't talk about, and that's actually a really cool way to get like some information through. And I don't know how many people they had to go, encouraged to go to the proctologist and get checked out, but they were doing their duty for sure. And so I'm a big fan. So you do morning radio? Morning
radio from 6 in the morning till 9. We went to another station before we went to 10 o'clock, and it was for 15, 16 years the number one radio show by far.
Okay, cool.
We got more than 1 million listeners every day, and it was we won all the prizes you can win for the radio, and it was great. But the DJ wanted to have some guys around him who could stimulate him, who could help him, and laugh, and we had lots of laugh. Every day we had so much fun with each other. We worked with 4 or 5 guys. There's a newsman and a man for the showbiz, a guy for the sports, and we did a lot of telephones, and we called everybody in the Netherlands. Everybody, this from the prime minister,
really,
to everybody. Yeah.
And so, what was your position in the group?
I was the sidekick. So,
okay,
yeah.
so like if there was
the
a
right
crazy
hand.
idea, you went out and tried it out.
Yeah.
What was the crazy thing you did? Did you ever say no to something?
No. Well, we went parachute diving with the radio show.
Okay.
Well, that was crazy. I've been in a Formula One car, and during the race on the circuit, I read the traffic jam. So we go with 300 miles or now 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you did the traffic.
Oh, traffic! Oh, there's a. It was really. It was with maybe you know the guy, Robert Doornbos. He was a famous Dutch before Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
We had Robert Doornbos, and he was a great Formula One driver.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a Dutch guy, Doornbos.
Yeah. He was a Dutch guy,
Makes
and
sense.
it was. So we've been to all the Olympic Games since 2000. 2000. So I went to Sydney, South Korea, Salt Lake City,
U.S.
Vancouver. U.S. No.
That was 1996.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went Brazil, Russia, Italy, Greece.
Cool.
Yeah, and every Dutch sporter came to us. So if they won a gold medal, they came to us and they did an interview. It was really it was.
I feel like that's what's happening to me in pinball today because Gerard's just like, talk to this guy, you gotta talk to that guy, and it's there's a lot of elite running around here in the pinball stuff. There's some really cool characters in here. How long have you been? Do you come and hang out at these things? Is this new?
This
to
is
you?
the first time.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know there was a championship. Yeah, I knew this time, but I know from earlier years. Mm-hmm. And I said to Garrett, I helped him with a little bit of that it became a little bit famous.
Yeah.
So I called a radio station where he could do an interview.
Did that work out? Did he?
Yeah. It was Thursday. I work. My organization is Talpa, and the big boss is John de Mol. You know John de Mol?
Is that the husband of Linda?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the big no the brother.
The brother. Okay.
He
did like wait a minute. Wait for it. The Big Brother stuff.
Big Brother. The Voice.
Yeah.
He's
He's the man.
He's the man. I work for him.
Oh really?
So I made a few appointments for Garrett so he could do interviews for radio and for television, but also for the newspapers.
Cool.
So everybody's calling him now, and he's going mad. But it's great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
He's over. He's everywhere. Yeah.
That's. I'm really happy about that because I think he's a special guy and he has a special place here. And I told him like flat out, like I will help if I can. If I can't anymore, I won't. But up until then, like doing things like this, I hope we can get the word out there.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I knew him. He was a painter. So, and my pinball was broken.
Yeah.
And he came by and he fixed it. And I said, "What do you get from me?" He said, "Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry." But do you see all the pictures where Garrett is standing on? With, I think the half is made by my work.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, you gotta have people like you in your corner.
Yeah.
When you're a good person, you can't win all by yourself.
No,
and
no.
The team is definitely a big part of it. But I'm really happy to hear he's got you doing those things for him. That's perfect. What if you had to just choose, or if you could snap your fingers? Let's say if you could snap your fingers. And pick any theme for a pinball to have at home. There's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't take 9 years to work it out.
No.
What theme would you take?
Pooh.
Especially since you've never seen the Big Lebowski. I can't.
No, I've never seen the movie, but I made a picture. I'm gonna see the great. Well, there were some guys. Did you see that they made a pinball that's not for sale? Did you see it here? It's a horror pinball, but it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I never.
It's here.
It's here.
It's a horror pinball.
It's a horror pinball. But it's not for sale. They made it by their own.
Yeah.
And it's off. It is. Yeah, outstanding.
That's crazy. I'm going to go look at that.
Yeah, we're going to go look at it right now.
Let's do it. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah. But Rick, it was good having you here.
Yeah.
I'm going to
great pleasure.
Cut this one short, and then we're going to go play the horror pinball. I was just talking to a buddy of mine. Like, there's not like a scare the shit out of you horror
I've
pinball.
never seen this before. Let's
do it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Bye.